Good morning, everyone. Got a nice full house this morning. I'm going to call to order the August 8th meeting of the Bantry Wayne Board of Education. It is 8 a.m. Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Present.
Mrs. Brent?
Here.
Mrs. Gwynn? Here. Mr. Lutz is absent, and Mr. Miller.
Here.
All right, would you rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alrighty. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the June 29th meeting. Are there any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
And a second, please.
I'll second.
Jeff. Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
All right, and treasurer's report, Carrie.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is to approve the monthly financials for the month of June of 2022 and July. With not having a July meeting, there's both months of the reports are on there. There was a lot listed. The one thing I did want to add in there was the annual approval of the commercial papers and Baker's acceptance notes. That's for the last fiscal year, July 1 of 2021 through June 30th of 2022. And,
Yeah.
and that is with our investments that we have through Red Tree. It's required that you have those approved on an annual basis and submitted to the Auditor of State's office via their website. So that is in addition to those reports this month for your approval. Second item on the agenda is to approve the donation of $500 to the Anthony Wayne High School girls basketball program. Under item C is to approve the items for disposal from Monclova Christian Academy per their letter dated July 29th. They also had a disposal in June 29th, so I realize that this is a lot, but they are cleaning house and they have some new staff. So it's a lot to keep up, but the
Yeah.
reason we approve this is because their funds are the auxiliary funds that flow through the district and go to the ESC. The purchasing is done through the ESC, but technically we are the fiscal agent of the funds, so therefore we do have to approve those items. Under item D is to approve legal counsel for a one-time use of Castrano and Associates. We had a situation where we had some property that was being contested on their values that we do, and it ended up that we had the same attorney's office representing. Rather than delay the case, they asked if we would be okay with using a one-time attorney. We've had to do this in the past, so I would ask that the board approve this. It would be a one-time use at a cost of $943.50. And under item E is to approve our cyber insurance policy. So last month, we approved all of our district insurance liability. Our cyber insurance runs August 1st, so obviously this will be retro to August 1. And it is at a cost for $9,000, which is actually a lesser cost than we paid last year. It was like $26,000. But we work with a school insurance consultant, or SIC, and they had so many people. They have like 60 people that have joined their list for the cyber insurance. So since it's a pooling, it was able to reduce our cost. But the cost we were offered when we approved our liability and property fleet insurance, it was $15,000 then. So, I mean, it's just a little bit less, which we thought was a great offer then, so I kind of took a little bit of risk on seeing what the pool would do, but the consultant felt that it would be a little bit better, so we waited. So it's going to be with World Risk Management now, and it's still the same coverage that we had in the past. So, and that is all I have. Any questions?
That contested property, that's over and done with, and it
Yes.
was in our favor.
Yes, yes.
All right. Any other questions?
the cyber insurance, I'll just mention quickly
Yeah.
too. I think it's very important to have that, obviously, with what's happened at Toledo Public, Washington Local, and some other school districts in the area. I think it's very important, and so, you know, I think getting that price, actually, I was very surprised by that. I thought it would be
Yeah.
more than what we paid in the past, so,
Right, I
Right.
thought it would continue to go up rather than,
yeah. But the
Yeah.
pool helps, you know, with
Oh.
that too, with getting more schools on board to do
Sure.
that, so.
Well, yeah, it should, just in
Yeah.
general, because more people are purchasing that now.
Well, and they're making it a little bit harder. They're making school districts jump through more hoops to get it, whether you have, every time you log on, you have to verify it too, and,
The two-factor
The two-factor, yeah.
authentication, you
Yeah.
know, that we're all going through, and everybody,
Right.
almost everybody here.
yeah, so.
So, yeah, that's all a part of the process. And I've shared with you, and Chris and I have talked about this, probably daily, I'm getting 2 or 3 messages that are phishing or spam, and in the sense of, click on this link, or, and we've been impersonated myself, Kevin Pfefferly, and others in the district, and saying, click on this because we need this information, and it's just, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate we have to deal with all of that, but,
Right.
The latest big one for us right now, it seems, is shipping notifications, like UPS trying to make a notification, but it has, a cost on delivery. So people are thinking, as much as people order from Amazon, they're not really thinking a whole lot of it. So that's a big one right now, but, so it's well worth
Yeah.
$9,000.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully we won't have to use it.
I
but-
know.
But,
There's
just
more.
in case, yeah. Any other questions for Carrie? If not, I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll move.
Okay, Jana, and second,
I'll second.
and Jeff. And Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. Superintendent's educational
I'm
report.
called a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's all right. Thank you. Quickly, I will talk about a number of items. I just want to mention first, we just, summer school's finished up. Can't thank all the people who were involved with that. There's lots of moving parts to that, the administrators for organizing the activities and managing them, managing the students, and the staff managing the students, and working with all the students and the various programs that we had. We had 764 students participate. This is tremendous over this summer, from intervention programs to camp invention, to earning high school credits for credit deficiency, to ACT prep, and everything in between. Just outstanding work that was done over the summer. ESSER funds were a major part of that funding to provide those opportunities to students. So we're happy that that money could be spent in that way and keep our students moving forward. I just wanted to mention that. Facility assessment update. Matt and I are meeting with the collaborative today, later this morning, to see where they're at with the facilities assessments. They started right after 4th of July, walking through the buildings, having individuals look at every aspect of the buildings and our facilities. And so I'm hoping that that's going to get maybe wrapped up here in the next month, and then we'll start the master planning process where we engage the community and staff and everybody to see where we need to go as a school district moving forward with facilities. And hopefully have that plan together sometime middle of winter, late winter. I'm hoping to have that done. So more to come on that. Strategic planning update. This has been a process since really January, where we had a small group come together. We talked about who should be involved in the conversation from all stakeholders. We held a meeting here in this room of around 60 or so people, representing parents, community members, alumni, staff, administrators, students, and so forth. Had a great discussion about a variety of topics about our students and trying to get them ready for graduation, no matter what path they choose to take. I'm happy with the work that's done. We've got more work to do. And I say that because, You know, we have our core beliefs, we have our vision statement, we have our mission statement, we have goals, we have some strategies to work, you know, work on those goals. Now it's time to go into the buildings and into the departments and ask staff, what do they believe we need to do in order to achieve these goals? And so, working with the different buildings and departments is where we need to take that next, and make that a working, living document. So that's where we're at with that one. The fall renewal levy, I want to mention a couple of things related to that. You know, residents in our district, we have several townships, city, village, you know, and there's several things on the ballot this fall as of right now. And I want to mention some of that. And I'll share out with you a document that the Lucas County Board of Elections has. It's a 100-day notice that shows, hey, these things are going to be on the ballot. Some of that was decided on last Tuesday, where we had a whopping 7% of Lucas County voters come out and vote on Tuesday of last week. You know, that'll be finalized here in probably the next week. But I do want to mention these. So we know that the Village of White House, they have a ballot issued to repeal part of their income tax to raise revenue for the village and change part of their charter to do so. So the Metro Parks will be a renewal levy. The library system will be a renewal levy. Imagination Station will be a renewal levy. Then we have Providence Township has a 2.5 mil renewal levy on for fire. Monclova Township has a renewal and increase for fire. Renewal is 2.3, the increase is 1.4, so for a total of 3.7 mils. That's a 5-year levy. Monclova Township again has a renewal for 1.5, but also an increase of 0.2 for police. So that's a total of 1.7. And then, did I mention Providence Township?
Yes.
Okay, so, okay.
Yeah.
So the Monclova Township one, the fire specifically, there's been a lot of discussions about that and what's gonna happen there. I've made a contact with Monclova Township to ask them some questions. I'm waiting for their feedback. Obviously, we're concerned about fire services to Monclova Primary. And obviously, it's right around the corner, so that's very convenient for us. So we'll see where that goes. I'm, you know, serving on the Monclova Township Planning Commission and working on their vision of the future. I don't see fire services going away specifically within Monclova Township. I think if anything, expansion plus also police expansion is probably where I see that going in the future. But we'll see, and the voters have to make that decision moving forward. So, and then obviously we're on the ballot too for the 2.28 mil 10-year renewal levy, and you know that language has officially been submitted to be on the ballot, and we're going to be there as well. And that's 15 years ago or so that was initially put on. It's less than half than what it was millage-wise. It raises $3 million for the school district that we cannot afford not to have. So those are all the ballot issues as of right now that are on the ballot.
That's probably about done, isn't it, as far as?
Yeah, it should be,
things
the
being-
process should be done.
Yeah.
You know,
It's this week. I think
Yeah.
August 10th is the deadline.
Was the deadline,
So,
okay. I guess
Or
it's
9th.
early
It would be
August.
tomorrow night, the 9th.
yeah, I think the only other school that was on was in Lucas County was Oregon for renewal as well at this time.
Okay.
So, start of the school year, obviously coming up next week. Very excited about it. Probably more excited than I have been in a couple of years. More apprehensive maybe in the last couple of years with COVID and some of the other things that were going on. But very excited about this school year and looking forward to the work and the strategic plan, but just the opportunities for students that I see coming for this next school year. And just, you can start to feel it on campus a little bit more than you did in July, because extracurriculars, 7 through 12, extracurriculars are happening, and you're getting more kids into the primary buildings, and, you know, just for different things that are coming up, especially this week with all the registration days and so forth. So just very excited about that moving forward. And, Monday we'll have staff here for workday, so it feels like a full house versus a half a house over the summer. And then the professional development day, our meeting on the professional development day, and then the 18th we start with kids. And so, very excited about that. I've shared with you my superintendent goals, which are obviously related to the strategic plan and implementation of that plan. Preliminary enrollment, this is the week where we kind of start to see a clearer picture of our enrollment because of the registration days, even though we had the open registration for returning students. This is where we're going back to school. It's, even though I've been at Kroger and saw all the school supplies and so forth, but it's time, and this is where we kind of see where that's going to head. And then our withdrawals, we have people move out of the state, out of the district, and so forth, and so we start to get those because they're going back to school, and, people are getting into the offices and processing the paperwork, submitting that to us. So we'll start to see that. I always do a September enrollment update to you, so that's really when I have a clear picture of where we're starting the school year at that point, moving forward. School safety, just want to briefly, I mentioned this at the last meeting, just want to mention it briefly. We've solidified the second SRO position at the campus. We've had many talks throughout the summer about where are we at with school safety, where do we need to go, our threat assessment programs, our at-risk programs, prevention types of programs, use of our safety features and making sure that we're fully implementing those moving forward. We're going to have some, on the Professional Development Day, we're going to have some training from the White House Police Department and other agencies as well through the buildings, and actually at our opening meeting a little bit too. So we have also our annual beginning of the year safety meeting with all the fire and police agencies, so looking forward to that moving forward. New staff, a lot of new staff, with retirements, resignations, and new positions that we've hired for this next year. We have a lot of very qualified individuals in the audience today. We're very excited about this school year and having them be a part of our school system and what we do for our students. Kevin, you want to make any brief comments?
Just to share with you, we've given each of you information, a packet on all the new staff, on all the new certified staff that we have. Today, after we leave here, the group's going to go to the high school commons area, and we are going to have our new staff orientation today. So we're trying to get everyone up and going so that they have a successful transition into the year. A lot of work has gone into hiring these individuals. The administration and so forth have worked very hard, and the pools, we've got wonderful individuals, wonderful applicants, and we're excited about having them start, and we're also excited then about working with them throughout the year to help them be successful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. One of the things I do want to mention is I put at your desk a spreadsheet that gives you an idea of just the individuals who've left, and people coming in, and we always share with you cost structure and trying to understand that. There's, I think, a couple more positions that we're going to have to add to that list, but we're roughly around $200,000 more in personnel that increase than we had last year. As far as people leaving and people coming in, we're spending about $200,000 more at this time, but I know it's going to be a little bit more than that with a couple people that we have to add. Usually, it's a little bit less. This year it's more because of the new positions that we added. And those positions are critical to our success, especially in the next couple of years moving forward. And that's why we added those positions, and that's why you're seeing that increased cost. Trying to provide services to students who really need those services, especially some from social worker, another guidance counselor, and those types of things. it's gonna cost more, but it's something that we felt we needed to do moving forward in the best interest of students and staff. And we added some positions, based on student numbers, and so, like I said, we're excited about this school year and the start of it and what we can do to help our students be as successful as possible. Item B, overnight trips, just one there for the DECA students to attend a meeting in New York City, and Penn will be paying for those costs. Yeah, the bus routes, number of bus routes, over 40 bus routes. You gotta remember, you know, we travel over 3,000 miles a day in those buses to pick up students and then take them back home to not only our school buildings, but to the parochial buildings, some of those buildings in our area. So, you know, there's a lot of students that are on those buses back and forth, and it's a lot of miles every single day, and our bus drivers do a great job of safely transporting those students. But like I said, that, you know, and we talk about gas prices, luckily they're starting to come down a little bit. But that's definitely, as we've talked in the past, over the summer, gonna be an increased cost this year, versus last year. Educational agreements, you see the 6 listed there, and a lot of those are related to individualized plans that we have to fulfill for students. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask now. You know, I'd ask that you approve A through D in one motion.
Questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Kyle?
Steal it from Jeff. No?
I'll second.
Jana?
Gina?
And Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
All righty. Thank you for that, Jim. And now your personnel recommendations.
Thank you. Resignations and retirements, you see those individuals listed there. We had some over the summer, and so we're just getting to that point of recognizing those at this point. Item B, some of those individuals are here today as we finalize hopefully get close to finalizing our appointment for the start of the school year. Very excited about these individuals coming into the district. Carrie, do you want to mention anything about Ray? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. As I shared in my update, I am finally replacing my assistant that left, so Ray is on the agenda. He's been interning over the summer. He started back on June 6th, kind of delayed due to COVID, and then a new software came on, so it finally happened, but I have him on the agenda to hire him, and then once he actually gets his license from ODE, he'll be back on the agenda to be contracted, but he is here today as well.
So we welcome everybody today that's being hired. Item C, substitute employees, as you see, they're listed. Majority of that is for this next school year. Can't thank Mr. Herman and Dr. Contat, who started in his position as of August 1st, in securing subs for this next school year. Item D, limited supplemental contracts. You see the one there for volleyball for this next school year. Let me see something real quick. And then item E, supplemental contracts as listed there. Most of those are mentors for this next school year for the new staff. So I'd ask that you approve A through E in one motion unless you have questions.
This person's on the resignation list.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see on that one.
I mean, just that
Yeah.
name stood out for me.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions on any of that? Not, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Jeff
Second.
and Kyle. And Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, that's the end of our business for the day. Kevin, did you have a sign-up sheet out front for anyone, or?
We did, they weren't.
No, okay.
Signed up.
All right, yeah, at this point, we normally will take any comments from anyone in the in attendance today, but apparently we did not have any. Unless someone wants to speak up at this point. All right, and then at this point, we need to go into executive session to discuss employment of public employees, and I need a motion to enter into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Kyle, and a second,
I'll second.
Jana? And it is at
8:26.
8:26, okay. All righty. Oh, I'm sorry, thanks. Gary, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
All right. Apparently, it's a short time frame that will be out. We don't intend to have any action after we come back out, other than to adjourn. But you're all welcome to stay. Hopefully, everyone online will do that. And yeah, if the new employees would stay in, we'll come back and meet you then after the meeting, so.
And if you haven't gotten your picture yet, if you would like to get your pictures for your badges, but, yeah, just hold on, and then they'll come out and
We'll be
meet with
back
you,
up.
and then we'll head to the high school after that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. right. Well, welcome back. I need a motion to return to our regular session.
Make that motion?
Kyle, and a second, please.
I'll second.
Jeff. And it's, would we say 8:47, 8:40?
48.
I put 8:48.
8:48, all right. And Carrie, would you please call roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Brent?
Yes.
Mrs. Gwynn?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
All righty. And that concludes all of our business, so I need a motion to adjourn.
I want to mention, before we adjourn, Troy could not be here today because he got called away last minute to a meeting in Chicago for business, so wanted to be here to meet all of you, but he
Right,
could not be
that's-
here this morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.